Alrighty, so as I mentioned in the last video, 34 has been breaking up a little bit and I'm not too sure why. I've got my suspicions of what it might be, so I've put in a new set of coil packs, new set of coils, did all of that, which is cool. Still having the same problem. I was hoping that it might be like a bad batch of E85, so I put another half tank in, hasn't made a difference, and now it's actually started to get worse. So I had a chat to James, who's got the RB25 and his 180 as well, and he's been telling me that he's had a similar problem before, but with his spark plugs. My spark plugs are brand new, like they've maybe done 1,000 Ks. So I'm going to pull them out today, just do kind of a visual inspection and see if there's any damage to the plug themselves on the actual porcelain section. So I'm going to check all that out. It's going to be a pretty short video. It's just kind of pulling plugs back out, coils back out. It's a bit of a pain on this as well because I've got the factory crossover pipe still. Now that's been changed, that all has to be pulled off, and there's a lot of little hoses and stuff all coming off that as well. So I'll pull it all back out, check it all over, and hopefully it's just a spark plug because I've got a spare set sitting in the, where do I have them? In the glove box. So got a spare set sitting in the glove box. If need be, I can just replace one of them. Hopefully that's all it is and it's nothing major, because I really don't want to have to pay more money for this car. Already I just paid like 1,500 bucks for a tune, for the second tune, so I really don't want to have to do that again. If need be, I'm going to have to take it back to the tuner and get him to go over everything. Hopefully it doesn't get to that stage. Hopefully I can fix it myself. I'm going to chuck the compression tester on there as well and make sure the engine's still all good. I'm just trying to rule out everything I possibly can. So I'm going to have Ashley here helping me film. She's just inside at the moment, but she'll be filming pretty much the rest of the video. So thank you to her for helping me out, because I always end up being hopeless with recording. I miss out a lot of important stuff and just record here and there, and the videos end up bad. So yeah, she's going to help me out with that, which is awesome. I'm going to crack on and get it started. These are one of the easier motors to pull your spark plugs out. Got your 6 coil packs all up through the middle there. Only part I'll have to pull off is, like I was saying, the crossover pipe. Once that out of the way, 2 10mm bolts for each coil pack, so 12 bolts all up, one in front, one behind. They pop out, plug pop off the coil pack, which is a bit of a pain to do on these old plugs, but they'll all pop off, and it's all a bit hot at the moment as well, which is a pain. But there you go, plug pops off, 2 10mm bolts, coil pack out, spark plug out. Check the compression. My gauge is a bit out, so all I'm checking is that there's consistency across all of them, and that I don't have like one that's 30 or 40 psi out. Fingers crossed they're all good, but I'm going to crack on now. I'm just going to undo all those bolts, pull the crossover pipe off, and go from there.
And I've been chilling, watching the ocean with you, baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our clouds when people change, but not us. And we just chilling, kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding.
So we've pulled all the plugs out and we've got them all laddered here on the table with their corresponding coil packs. We've got from cylinder 1 being at the front of the motor right down to cylinder 6. So working our way down, plug number 1, don't know how well this is going to focus. Plug 1, all looks good, nothing major. And the same thing kind of carries along with 2, 3, 4 and 5. They all look pretty good. There's a little tiny white line running around the base of that little section of the spark plug. I don't know how well that'll pick up on camera, but there is a little white line, and I'm worried that might be stress fractures when these were gapped. Being iridium plugs, you shouldn't be gapping them, but I did anyway because I paid a fortune for them.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so they all look the same kind of thing. They all have those similar kind of rings apart from cylinder 5, which didn't have a ring but still looks pretty normal for a plug. And that brings us to cylinder 6, which does not look very happy at all.
Give her a second.
There's like deposits of something on this plug and it really doesn't look too good. I'm no expert with plugs, so I've sent a photo off to the tuner, see what he thinks. At this stage, sadly, it's looking like it may be something to do with the motor rather than just being a normal kind of spark problem. Really hope it's not, but you know, who knows, it's part of the game. So we're going to do a compression test now, go through all the cylinders, see how everything performs. If I was to guess, I'm going to say that cylinder 6 is going to be down. Don't know what it's going to be. There's no weird noises coming from the motor. Oil pressure is normal. Knock readings on the epoxy unit are all normal, so I do not know why it's doing that or what that even is for that fact. So I'm going to compression test it now and hopefully it's all good. So lucky for me, I have another set of spark plugs sitting in the glove box. So I've got 6 of these. These haven't been gapped, so they're just standard BKR7EIX, which is the Iridium BKR7s, which is what most Skylines use, and the RB20/25 motors. So I'm going to chuck these back in. They're standard plugs. They're maybe 3,000 or 4,000 Ks old. The only problems I had with these plugs is that the higher RPMs there was some misfires, and that was due to the gap being too large. So I'm going to chuck these back in and pretty much go for a test drive. If the car's running well again, then that's going to be the problem. What I am theorizing is our cylinder 6 plug, the reason that it was so fouled up is that's been our plug that's misfiring, and that's just bits of fuel and carbon and all types of stuff that's just built up onto it. I'm waiting to hear back from the tuner, so don't take my word for it, but if I was to guess, that's the problem. Hopefully these go in and then everything's half fine, and then I'll have to get a set of copper plugs from Kudos, which are a lot cheaper than these in the first place anyway, and then gap those down to 0.6, and then in theory everything should be all good. I'm just super happy that the compression test came out well. My biggest concern was that I'd be needing a motor rebuild, so luckily for me I don't. But I'm going to crack on putting these back in and see you guys soon. Alrighty, so we're on our way to Super Cheap for a quick trip. Pulled off the fuel filter just to double check it. It wasn't terrible, you could still blow through it, but there's a little bit of resistance there, so just to be safe we're going to head to Super Cheap and grab another one, chuck that in, and we've got our new plugs in now, so hopefully we'll start it up and everything will work as expected. I'm expecting that it will work. We won't get the weird misfires we have been getting, but we will get the random misfire here and there just due to the gap of the plugs. So yeah, we'll see you guys when we're back at home. The camera died literally as soon as we pulled out of the driveway, which sucks, so you guys didn't get to see any of the footage of test driving the car. Good news is everything is now working extremely well again. The car's running a heap better than what it was. So we put the spark plugs back in, the old ones that I had lying around, with the standard gap, which I believe is 0.8, and we put in a new fuel filter just because the other one felt a bit clogged up. So put all that in, runs like a dream again. Luckily the compression was all good, which is really good for me, makes me super happy, and the fact the car's running well again makes me super happy. What I'm going to be doing is buying a set of standard copper spark plugs and then gapping those down. I have a bit of a feeling that the Iridiums didn't like to be gapped. I don't think you should gap them, I've been told, but I'll gap the coppers down, see if that makes a difference, and then I'll keep checking cylinder number 6, which was the one that had that build up, and I'll see how all that goes. Hopefully it's going to be all good. Fingers crossed, because we've got track battle coming up in just under 2 weeks. Super excited for. A lot more excited now knowing that my car's actually going to make it there, which is very, very, very good news. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I also bought more GoPro stuff, so I bought some mounts for my helmet. I used the rest of my sticky mounts on James's helmet because I didn't have a closed face one for slideways. So I've got, I think, 3 curved and 3 standard GoPro adhesive mounts, so I can stick a couple of those on the helmet for when we go to track battle, just to get some cool angles, because I really missed a good opportunity last time I was at the track battle because I didn't have a camera mounted to my helmet. It was outside, it was windy, footage sucked, didn't make a video. So this time there's going to be an awesome video coming up for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment. I'll see you later.
You say you wanna cry, but you never